Sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore, my Lord, pouring us in the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. Selassie Jah Ras Tafari, who is detail falling to the sun and to the Holy One of Kings. Jah was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, the world without end. Selassie Jah Ras Tafari, supernatural for super, blessings and stars, one of my life, from the full sight of thy saints, that we may be done on earth as it is in the sea. Selassie Jah Ras Tafari. Greetings, my Lord and Empress Selassie Jah Ras Tafari. Welcome to Honorable Prophet Muambe's Little Corner, you know. And this day here we have reasoning, you know. On Wednesdays, that's our reasoning corner, right? This is where we come and we sit down and give some words of encouragement, you know, some words of reason, you know, in our little corner here in our little office, you know. So this is the first time we're going through this development, you know. Just let it grow naturally, right? You know, so the world know, you know, this is our sacrament, you know. Honorable Priest Isaac explains the works of the chalice very well. You can go on his YouTube channel, you know, and intensive, extensive, and very detailed information on the works of this simple device, you know, which is the key to, you know, our internal development, you know, as far as returning to our higher self, heavens, you know, our heavens, you know. So we give thanks for this moment, family, you know. Honestly, I, you know, personally, family, don't know where this was going, you know, and as a reason, you know, we all have to work together, you know, and we all have to work from within our own spaces and, you know, cut and clear and be able to, you know, share the information with each other, you know, through the works, through the manifestation of the works, you know. So that said, I'm going to hit this one more time and then we're going to go into some reasoning for a few. You know, we have 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in, and a half, pardon me, you know, and we have 50 to go, you know. So this is our 1 hour segment, 1 hour reasoning in our little corner, you know, Honorable Prophet Muambe's little corner. You know, whatever's going on in your little corner, love to see it. You know, Honorable Priest Isaac have, you know, that mighty my lad there is powerful. You know, brainstorm. You know, mind your business. That's a good one. My gosh. Y'all know what's happening. Yes. Breakfast of champions. By the way, nice lemon water. Sea moss, blueberry, banana mango smoothie. Hat of fire. Yes. Lemongrass, cinnamon, soursop tea. Breakfast of champions. Selassie Jah Ras Tafari. Take a sip of this one. Lovely. 14 minutes in there. Y'all still with me? Bunch of people done gone? That's alright. This is not race for the swift. It's who can endure to the end. Okay? Oh. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. I love it. Currently have a series of EABIC videos playing, you know, on YouTube, and we put them all together to run for the day, you know. And trust me, we put some, you know, different music in there too, you know. You know, our brothers and sisters have the reggae music, meditation, you know, and we respect the art form, you see, because art is eternal in all its forms, you know. Emperor Haile Selassie come as protectorate of all human faith, you know. For man's faith is his music. Who is anyone to deny his faith, you know? Our job should be to mine our faith and make sure that our faith is to the highest level possible, so that the work of it is undeniable. We don't have to argue about it to no one. I love that cough. You see that kind of cough right there? That's a clearing cough. That's a mucus clearing cough. You know, that's the kind of cough you want. You know, they're gonna clear all your, you know, in the morning, you know, when you hearing us in the sound, really, you need to clear all of that. That takes time to clear, you know. So the earlier I rise and I start to take the breakfast of champions seriously, and then build from there, then that feeling, that itchy, scratchy business is going to go away, and then we go into service with a strong vocal cord, you know. Yet to reach that level. I personally have yet to reach that level, you know, and I'm eager to reach it, and I'm gonna take my time to reach it, you know. Yeah, and I'm hoping that ones and ones join me along with it, starting from scratch, like we don't know nothing, you know. Truth of the matter is, family, you know, is, you know, King Emmanuel gave his life for us. This man gave his life for us. And how he did it, I've asked, you know, I've made that question very pertinent in my probe. See how clear that cough is? This is Zion on earth, you know. This man, King Emmanuel, you know, went down without complaining. And so he fulfilled Isaiah 53, you know, in everything that he did. And he tested us in every way too. He tested us. He put us to the test. You know, the failing, you know, or the passing of that test is determined on where we are right now in our heart, in our own heart, personally, you know. Now this is how I, in my journey, you know, this is my own personal, all right, thesis, so to speak, you know. Yeah, because I ain't prepared for this. Who's prepared for this? The Most High King Selassie said we would be ill prepared to do these works. So, and the only way that you would be able to be prepared is if when the time comes for the work to have to be done, for those that are there to manifest it, to do it, then those have to be the ones that are prepared to do it, right? So, this is it here, you know, putting ourselves to scrutiny, because this is the way, right? Once you're in this realm, you're up to scrutiny, you know. Like the first, you know, video we put for the Honorable Empress Mama Menin, you know, yeah, ask the question, is this our arbitrary? We have to keep seeing our brothers and sisters that stand for the truth and want the right of it and have a fervor and have a zeal and want others to come so much so that they're willing to give their life for it, and then do give the life for it, and then we still don't want to, you know, come full. Because what does come full mean, you know? So this is the reason, you know, because this man King Emmanuel came and did a magnificent work, you know. He set a foundation that is self-reliant, self-sufficient, you know, and self-governing, you know, has principles, laws, and commandments, has its own constitution, you know, and lives at peace in the land of our captivity. For the most part, right? You know, because we know the wars them that's going on. Pure wars going on, you know, inside, outside. Oh my God, rumors of wars. You know, the fullness is revealing right before our very eyes, you know. That's the beautiful thing about all of this. It's undeniable. It's right before in front of us. All of that. Right before in front of us, live, right? You know. So we're grateful for it being live. Well, how else are we gonna know, right? We have to know. Everyone has to know. But has to know what? You know? Has to know the truth. What truth? Whose truth? Well, let's start with the important truths then. They choose them that haven't been taught to a people that should have been taught. You know, things like His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie the First, which name is translated Power of the Trinity, not even in the history books. For his existence to have changed the League of Nations, which means is all the, right, industrialized, modernized nations of the early, right, okay, to the right now governing United Nations, you know, that everybody is adhering to, you know. For that man right there to not be a part of the history books in elementary school within the African, in America, and in the diaspora. Let's start with that. If we can start with that, then we can do something good. You know, because then we have to then uphold those ancients, our elders, who have held that idea. Because the idea manifested in flesh, you know, within the history of the United Nations. You know, let's begin with that truth. You know, let's begin with Mr. Blyden, you know, and Honorable Empress Harris, you know, coming to that understanding, you know, and sitting down with us and having a true discussion, you know, a true discussion on the real reformation of American laws that would bring about a true justice to all people on the planet. Because by taking care of the most least amongst us, we're taking care of all of us. That's a general, you know, analogy, right? So imagine, generally, to all races extended, for real, like the Happy Feet movies, for real type of vibes. No, but for real. But for real. You know? I love this. Okay, so you know certain ears gonna take you certain places that you ain't ready to perform yet. So then you know you have to then come back to yourself and then say later is going to be greater. You know, and there's a part, you know, within the development of the priesthood, whereby when you're carrying up choruses and you're in service, you have to make sure that you're carrying up the choruses that you know, and don't carry up choruses that you don't know. You know, but you're feeling the vibes in it too. You know, you have to know restrain, right? So this is the fullness. This is what our people need. You know, our people need the fullness of this music, this one to order. This is the structural, you know, default of our people's, you know, spiritual infrastructure. You know, and unfortunately no other race can help us with that. You know, the African race have to do that itself. See, and once that is done, we're on the right track, in my humble opinion, of experiencing the fullness of this. You know, and so, and when I mean the fullness of it, so I have a segment, a little segment name, And it just, the Most High all just manifesting this, I'm just riding along, family, but tea time. And we're gonna have our tea. This is not. This is our tea. I don't have my glasses. No excuses. And in tea time, we're gonna have testimonies, And in testimonies, we're gonna be able to, speak about how we got here. What made us who we are? Why, who, when, how, and the sum of the matter. You see, because that's what makes it, in I don't like to say certain terms, and I'm not, right? But right, the fullness of our creation is to know, right? Our evolution. That is what we aspire to know. What is our purpose? And we can't know that if we don't have the basics in line. And once we explore those basics, then we can begin, to respect the process, of humankind, respect the process of, our true existence as beings, man, and all our experience, everything that we've experienced, and how are we really addressing it, and how are we using the resources that we have to address these situations properly and bring about immediate relief, true immediate relief. Not personal gain, immediate relief. Personal gain, immediate relief comes when everyone's generation continues to benefit from the conditions that were created in the first place, which is, slavery. And that doesn't only goes back to the Europeans. That goes to our brothers and sisters said we as Islam, Muslim, you see, our brothers and sisters, you see, children of Ishmael, yes, great nation you are, but you're not the promise, you see, so we have to work together, because it's a unity, is made up of mistakes that our forefathers made, and now we have to correct them through our knowledge of experiences, what we experience, with now the knowledge of remembrance, and seeing what we have, changing things, Marcus Garvey said, right, that when the black race recognized itself, I'm paraphrasing, right, we would have a new race in 24 hours. It might be 48. 24 is very ambitious, but I could see it. I could see it. You can see the brightest of our brightest ones and ones coming together, our ancients of ancients and wisest of wisest coming together, like right now, taking plane tickets and coming together right now, boat, bike, however you could get there, because either one from a city, one from a family and two from every city. So hey, the one might be right there close enough to the meeting that he might make it, and and then make a decision, and then we have an account to put those decisions to action. I mean, that's reparations. Where you have your own people deciding what you're going to do, what you have, what you've earned, because all this is earned, but it's not to slap it in nobody's face. That's been the humility of taking all our brothers and sisters' death. the sacrifice of taking them, the brutality of taking, you know, taking those blows, you know, that sacrifice right there, you know, that humility there, that's enough evidence that this race is a peculiar people, you know, and should be returned to their Lord and Savior, you know, because we need to return to Him, you see. But who is He? You know, and this is the thing, if we don't know the King, then we trip up. I mean, look, take one spark plug out of any vehicle and try and start it. Listen, okay, I'm sorry, that might not even be a good analogy, because I'm not like a mechanic like that to know that, you know, but an essential part of a vehicle, well, okay, right? One of the contacts them in the battery. Dead battery. It's a dead heart. Can't go nowhere. You know? So, process. You know? It's a process. You know? As a mechanic, you go through the process of eliminations to find out what's causing the car not to start. You know? So, we've already gone through that process how many times, right? As a nation. And it's time now to start acting on what we know we have to do. And this is the thing, it's not going to be no out of order thing. That's why this service, you know, come to bring about that fullness. You know, to be able to harmonize and humble and read and be able to make mistakes and be corrected. You know, as a child, that's what it feels like. That's what I felt like when I first came to this. And exactly what I needed, you know, then and now, right? Because I'm still in it, I mean, yes. You know, love this thing, you know. This is the most beautiful culture on the face of the earth, you know. And the reason why is because it brings you to remembrance of yourself, you know. It is a saving grace, you know. It comes in harmony, you know, to bring harmony into our soul, you know, from chaos, you know. So once we begin that process, from chaos to order, we can begin the healing, you know. And then that's a period that takes some time too, and that's why we need an undisturbed, you know, development. Just like every one of us personally require undisturbed development. Undisturbed. If you don't, if there's any disturbance in the development, then there is division, chaos. And when chaos settles in, right, out of order, you're easier to conquer, right? You know, and this has been our people, you know. We have so much in common, you know. The things that are dividing us are an apology away, true apology, like humble, like really, and not like remorse or like crying and, you know, unless you're going to see the action of that, which is that of a child, which is that child is going to always come back. We're going to be talking to one another like every day, you know. Ain't gonna never be a thing to reason. You'll have a group chat where everybody is genuinely listened to and loved and, you know, strengthened and uplift and, you know, made sure you have everything you need to move through. Just like how every other nation has it, you know. And then begin to see how we can really make this thing go through right? I mean, if, you know, Marcus Garvey is the most that Trinity there, when we put it in perspective, that whole Trinity, you know, just like how the Honorable Priest Isaac has done in all his series. Honorable Priest Isaac, my lord, blessed love, honorable majesty, I'd like to give the eye, you know, a personal big up. You know, my lord, 4 wings of earth for the eye development, the eye office, you know, how the eye have ministered to the item youth, to the youths, you know, the eye relationship within the eye community, in the wall, you know. The other half without we'll come to that because, yeah, you know, everything in due season, and yes, that's how it rides in majesty, you know, and the works have to fulfill in lowly pumps, riding on to live, lowly pumps, you know, lowly pumps. And that's what we're trying our best to come true in a family, you know, lowly pumps, you know. So give thanks, Honorable Priest, you know, for leading the way in how to manifest the work, you know, with a full heart of, you know, joy and love and, you know, and opening the door because, yeah, man, that Chalawa is the door, my lad. So give thanks, you know, for the proper way for the ones on the wall to see that this is a spiritual order, you know. The sacrament is a spiritual, you know, herb meant for the spiritual soul, for that electric, you know, life current inside us, you know. That's that food right there, you know. That is what the world put restraint on, the same way they put the restraint of the knowledge of the Most High King Selassie Jah Ras Tafari. But we humbly bringing this truth out, you know, humbly, as humble as possible, you know, because that's what we seek from our Father, is forgiveness for our trespasses, you know, as we forgive those that trespass against us, you know. So African race, see how beautiful you have been by forgiving your enemy for all the trespasses that they continuously do against, you know. And let us stand firm and let us take ourselves again, let us take ourselves, you know, because if we don't take ourselves, we will be taken, you know. We have been taken, you know, so we can't be taken again, you know. And this is where now the what was it, the meat, what it was, so they like to term these war terms in this world, you know. But we know we don't come here to fight flesh and blood. It's spiritual principalities and powers in high and low places. Word sound power, word create and word destroys, you know. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie Jah Ras Tafari, the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega, you know, Father and Mother of creation in flesh, showing us a family in flesh, you know. So we give thanks for this remembrance, you know, that has made this Spirit come in flesh and manifest this work right now in flesh before the whole world. In flesh, Selassie Jah Ras Tafari, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie Jah Rastafari, Holy Marcus, Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Holy Empress Menenai, King Selassie, Jah Rastafari. What a mighty God we serve, you know. And one would say it's a bunch of gods you all just named there. No, it's one God for us all. It's the spirit of truth in flesh in us all. You know, so it's one God, you see. But we have to acknowledge it manifesting in flesh, you see. And if you accept it, then, you know, St. John, you know, John 4, you know, the epistles 1, 2, 3, you know, yeah. Put them in perspective, family. Let's put everything in perspective now, you know. The last 7 books before Revelation, let's put those in perspective, you know. And then let we go into Revelation. Because those will bring all the other books, everything else in perspective, right? Let's try a thing, you know. If one's willing to make that move and make that tread, you know, then join on, you know. Join on, you know. Join on, you know. The Congress have its registration open consistently. Come join in Daniel Ban, you know. We need soldiers in Daniel Ban, you know. We need soldiers in the craft industry. We need soldiers in the construction industry. We need soldiers, well, the broom industry needs to be set up to a pinnacle of excellence. Would love to see factory of our broom industry manifested in flesh. Is that impossible? What did the Lord say about the impossible things? All things are possible with the Most High. Holy Emmanuel, King Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Yes, my Lord and Empress. You know, give thanks, Prince and Princesses. We're calling unto you your strength. You know, we need your strength. You know, this is a international call, paramount importance. You know, international call, paramount importance. You know, international call. You know, come on to your office. You know, build your own office within yourself. You don't need the herb, you know. You see, from your conscious, you know, and you're already moving through, the herb is used in different other avenues sent away, you know, cook-wise and, you know, and teas and, you know, the edibles of it. You know, it doesn't always have to be, you know, ingested in this manner, the way the priesthood of the Most High ingests it. You know, but this is the priesthood. Selassie, Jah Rastafari, my Lord. Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord, you know. This is the priesthood, you know, office. You know, and through the priesthood office, it needs to be recognized before the world as a priesthood office. And the herb as a, you know, a sacrament within the priesthood office. That is not a prerequisite. That's the word. Prerequisite. Spell it now. So that's Jah Rastafari. No, I'm chanting now. Jah Rastafari. It's not a prerequisite, but it surely helps in putting all the spiritual faculties of the principal laws and commandments of our Lord, God and King in proper perspective in a very beaten down temple and race of people, the poor and have-nots of the world, that have no helper, whom the Lord, our God and King, have sent a Savior for in the form of Emmanuel, Charles Edward. Now the King is His Imperial Majesty. Now there was a prophet that came before and spoke of these two, and that's Marcus Garvey. That's just like in the Bible, John the Baptist is Marcus Garvey, or John, you know, the John from the island of Platos that came to hear him, you know, and saw the vision. And what was the vision of? Right? It was of him that sits upon the throne, the king, and him who was found worthy to open the book of the seven seals, the Lamb that took the book off of him that sits upon the throne. This priesthood, this is the seven flaming candlestick priesthood that you hear us reason about in the Psalms reading. You know, this priesthood needs its people to come and build it forward again. Make its back. Make his back stand up straight again. You know? Take a real stance. You know? And go forward in a true light. In a true love. You know? Respected by the world. That the world may say the Lord has done great things for them. And we say, yes, the Lord has done great things for us. Whereof we are glad. You know? Selassie Jah Ras Tafari. Fearful, knowing that the wrath of the Most High will consume our souls. Knowing the truth and not turning to it. Knowing the truth and fighting against it. That's soul consumption fire right there. You know, there's two fires. The consuming fire and the purging fire. You know, many of my people, my personal people, my family knows of the both fires. Both fires. Consuming fire and purging fire. And the consuming fire is when you deny yourself so much that you allow Satan to take your life. Take your life. You deny yourself so much. And we deny ourselves when we deny what's before us. The truth that's before us. What truth? Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari. So my Lord and Empress, you know, we come to a ceiling to our 1 hour Wednesday reasoning in our little corner, you know. I don't know if it's gonna happen again, you know, anyway, that. I mean, even the manifestation of the Psalms reading is a spirit that the Father put in us to do, you know, family. Because, you know, if you read all our writing and everything we have said, you know, it's always been like, you know, what else is there to do, you know? And here it is now, we're in such a state of emergency that when we have our youth them, you know, coming up with us, you know, still focused and strong and loving and kind, you know, and faithful in us, the elders, making a difference. You see, this is the fullness, you know, us, the elders, making a difference because we know the way, you know. So we, the elders, now are responsible, you know, to guide the youths them that have the strength, have the muscle, you know, to make this thing happen. That's our resource. you know, to make everything happen. Snapping this glove like, oh my goodness, I don't want to break it. But that's the spirit, you know. That's resource, that youth, you know. When you put that resource in the proper, you know, direction, you know, the world begins to heal. The world begins to heal. Can we explore that thought, that idea of healing, you know, as opposed to everything else that's happening? Can we explore this side, please? You know, this is an international call, you know. Everyone, you know. I mean, how much friends on my list? You know, here it is, unknown call, I had to stop call. You know, that was the call of the unknown. That was what? The friends on list. Ain't ready for this right now, so let me just put a, you know, pause on it. But yeah, that's just to let me know that yeah, it's time to get to work. And you see the glove there, and it's problem. You know, enough work to go on. You see a new canvas of the problems. You know, because we're in our office. You know, our little corner. You know, the Lord called all of us to do, you know, each and every one of us what we can do. You know, how we can do it. You know, whatever energy everyone add to it positively, I know it's going to add to you. You know, okay, I know that is the children in school, 0700. You know, so that will go into voicemail and they will say what they need to say and we will, you know, see it. So, yes, notification, you know. So I thought I turned this off. I did turn it off and it still went through, you know, but that's my 54-minute mark, you know, again, you know. So stay on point, family, you know. We're in our office, you know, and everyone that's in their office should be made accessible, you know, as officers of the Most High. You know, you should be able to, you know, receive text messages, emails, you know, all form of communication internationally, worldwide, you know, and any requests, you know, of our Congress development should be met, you know. Expediently our registration, you know, of every member, 4 wings of earth, you know, within our headquarters, you know, our immediate registration, without like any thought, you know, of what happened anytime yesterday, you know, because that's what a state of emergency means, you know. It means that we all put aside all our differences and work through one channel, you know, and then make that channel work, you know, and everyone voice heard. That means everyone voice heard, you know, from YouTube to chat rooms to anyone who is reasoning on this, our Congress. Everyone's voice must be heard and must be scrutinized for the right in it and the wrong in it. When we have our council of elders in order, we will be able to take care of that. Definitely. I know a fact for sure. But we need to first take these first steps, you know. We need to educate ourselves, you know. We need our elders to come together, you know. We need our youth them to humble under the elders. The elders, we have to make sense to our youths, you know, so that they can fully, you know, come to themselves and strength, you know, stand firm, you know, in the light of this as spiritual warriors in the light of the Most High, King Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, spiritual warriors, my lords, honorable prince and princesses out there, you know, honorable kings, you know, princes of the earth, princesses of the earth, kings and queens of the earth. Pull up yourselves, my lord. Pull up your honor. Pull up your heart. Young princes, pull up your pants, them, my lord. Let's take it to the next level. Let's go all out righteously. All out righteously. Let's put our elders who have held the righteous light before the wall. Let's put them in front. And let's hear what they say. Because our elder, Most High King Emmanuel, said put the empresses them in front. In order for that to happen, kings, we have to have the foundation solid and in order for them. See me, guys? It's a construction analogy. So my lords and empress, you know, remember, breakfast of champion, holy tea, sea mass smoothie, you know, look me, yeah, super water with lime. So this one we're going to talk about the next time, okay? Sea mass, yeah, the real deal. That's for next time, you know, because there's a lot of things going around out there that they ain't real sea mass, you know, and we're going to talk about this too, you know, yeah, you know, and we can have others that could join in and talk as well, you know. It's not all of us, you know, one of us that know everything. It's all of us that know everything. That's the beauty about this thing, you know. It's members on top of members on top of members. Because it's one goody we. Holy Manuel, Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, you know, my Lord and Empress, and you know, in the spirit of the man of right, you know, because he come and he bring his son, you know. He said, why do we doubt ourselves to get her right, but we don't doubt ourselves to get her wrong, you know. Let's hold the word sound there, the final word sound, and strengthen each other going through. Right, family? Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, Holy Empress Menenai, King Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, John Marcus, Selassie, Jah Ras Tafari, my lords and empress, prince and princess. Heart of love, majesty. To the works, family. There is labor for all.